The Australian electricity sector's transition to high-share renewables is well underway, with records seemingly broken every other week. But with every transition, there are always growing pains, and in this case, economic and physical curtailment. But just how big of a problem do renewable generators face, and how can they minimise their risk? In this video, we'll be zooming into a real-life solar farm in Victoria, Australia, analysing how curtailment is the new reality for generation assets, and also how adding battery storage to standalone generation can unlock further value. Economic curtailment occurs when assets stop generating because it's no longer profitable to do so, typically when wholesale electricity prices turn negative. Negative pricing is a feature of most power markets with high renewable share. It is especially pronounced in Australia's NEM due to price cannibalisation from the world's highest penetration of rooftop solar. As shown in this graph, cumulative hours of negative prices in Victoria have surged over the past 5 years, with 2025 already seeing nearly 1,500 hours, roughly equivalent to 2 full months. But how does this compare to international counterparts? As seen here, Victoria has seen nearly 10 times more cumulative negative pricing hours than the UK in 2025, comparable to Germany, Spain, and France combined. To visualise how curtailment affects real-life assets, we've configured a live feed of 5-minute generation data for a 110 megawatt solar farm in Victoria. In our baseline, we've attached the solar farm's actual generation, or what was sent out to the grid. And in the next scenario, we have configured the available generation, or what could have been sent out to the grid. The difference between the two reflects both economic and physical curtailment. While the site may have contracted certificate and PPA revenue, in this example, we are modelling purely merchant behaviour. After running a simulation, over the last 12 months, 76% of the available generation was actually sent out to the grid. The difference, roughly 50 gigawatt hours, is what was curtailed either due to economic reasons like negative pricing or physical reasons such as grid constraints. If all of the available generation pre-curtailment was actually sent out to the grid, the solar farm would have made 700,000 less over the last 12 months, despite exporting 1.3 times more volume. One strategy the asset owner might want to consider is the addition of a BESS to the site. But how big should this battery be? Rather than rely on guesses, Gridcog can automatically search for the optimal combination and sizing of co-located solar, wind, and battery assets to maximise project cash flows, what we call auto-sizing. For the purposes of this assessment, we have modelled the addition of an auto-sized 4-hour battery to the site's available generation. To constrain asset sizing recommendations, we applied CSIRO gen cost pricing and included an assumed grid import augmentation cost of 500k per megawatt. We then attached the last 12 months of pricing projected over 20 years with co-optimised dispatch of the solar system and battery. With our battery added, let's run another simulation and dive into the results. Our auto-sizing determined the optimal size of a 4-hour battery was around 163 megawatts. To verify this, here's a chart showing a grid search of battery sizes and their relative value, with the auto-size result highlighted in purple. As you can see, auto-sizing hits the apex of possible value captured. Confident with our asset sizing, we ran a revenue-only model using recommended asset sizing for the last 12 months. Expectedly, the new scenario greatly increases site revenues, but to what extent has the addition of a battery actually altered the flow of solar generation? Jumping into the Inter-Asset Flow tab, we can see that roughly 21 gigawatt hours, or 23% of solar exports are to the battery, with the BESS storing that energy to export at more optimal or non-negative pricing intervals. While this is a best case revenue model, with factors such as MLFs, grid constraints, and uncertainty not applied, it highlights the opportunity for standalone generation to utilise storage to capture additional value from existing assets. While this model focuses solely on merchant revenue, most renewable and storage projects also rely on contracted revenue streams such as PPAs or tolling arrangements. In addition, a range of project and site-specific factors may influence long-term outcomes, including changing loss factors, future grid congestion, increasing saturation of ancillary service markets, and the inclusion of long-term price forecasts. Gridcog's auto-sizing can take all of that into account when determining asset sizes, taking the guesswork out of renewable energy and battery storage project design. Until next time.